What's up, everybody? Cole Sands here. So this week's report is brought to you by Lake Chickamauga Rentals and Fishco, two of my awesome sponsors. Lake Chickamauga Rentals is a couple cabins on Lake Chickamauga, right on the shores of Richland Creek, which is right there in Dayton. So if y'all are looking for a place to stay when y'all come down to fish, with me or just fish in general, it's a great option right there in the lake. You can put your boat in there, super secure. And my other sponsor, Fishco, which is a soft plastics company who's really come out with some great stuff lately. Y'all be sure to check both of them out on Facebook, give them a follow, and y'all been great supporting me as well as the companies that help support me. So I appreciate y'all a ton. But let's get into this week's report. So this is the report for July 25th, 2022, and man, the fishing's been really, really good lately. Like surprisingly good for July, as hot as it's been. And I say that if you're on the fish right now, it's very good. There's a lot of dead water. There's a lot of lulls. But like if you're on the right place at the right time right now, you can catch a bunch of fish in a hurry. This past week, I think Monday we boated 30 fish. Didn't have no big ones Monday, but we caught 30 fish. Tuesday we caught, I think 27 or 28 fish on our trip. Had a couple 4-pounders in the mix, a couple 3-pounders as well. Had a pretty decent bag. Wednesday we caught 52 fish. Now, with this being said, a lot of this is coming off of just a couple places. We're bouncing around a lot, hitting places, but then you'll hit one place at the right time, and you'll catch 20 or 30 fish off one spot. But yeah, Wednesday we had 52 fish. I think we had the biggest was a 6.5. Had another 4-pounder, and several more keepers, 2.5, 2 3/4 pounders. So would have had a good bag that day as well. And then Thursday, had an afternoon trip. Was supposed to have a morning trip too, but we had some really bad storms and I had to postpone and reschedule it. But Thursday afternoon we got out there for a 4.5. We went a little bit over 4 hours because we catched them so good. But we caught 35 fish in 4 hours. Had a really nice bag of fish. Had 5.5, a 4-pounder, and then several 2.5 to 3-pounders. And the last 30 minutes of daylight, we caught them every single cast, and it was some of the most fun fishing me or my client had ever had in a while. So really great week. We'll talk about what baits have been working for me, kind of what I've been looking for. Still a lot of different ways to catch them right now, and a lot of different baits to catch them on right now too. So you can still kind of fish your strengths. There's still a ton of fish out deep. I've spent a little bit of time graphing around. I spent Thursday, once my trip got canceled, just kind of riding around looking, and there's a lot of fish out deep still. The fish that are left out there deep, if you want to be ledge fishing, you're going to have to really slow down. And, the best baits to do that with, in my opinion, you got a drop shot, a Neko rig, and a Ned rig. Once these fish have been beat up as much as they are, I do best on those baits if I'm still ledge fishing. There's still some big ones out deep. They're just kind of hard to catch, but they're definitely worth fishing for. But besides the deep bite, the grass bite's really been the deal for me lately. Just finding grass and 5 to 10 foot of water. Even some places maybe a little bit shallower than that. But just kind of rotating a variety of baits, finding those places where the grass grows out and makes an edge, just kind of fishing those edges. Also trying to find a couple hard spots in the grass, any little bare spots. Those have been good. And then just some of those big grass flats, just throwing a top water over them. And the key with that is, where that grass is about a foot or two beneath the surface, taking your top water, your Yo-Zuri pencil popper or your hardcore popper, and taking it and fishing those grass flats and getting fish to come out and eat that's been pretty fun as well. But baits that have been working for me. Let's see, I might not have grabbed all my rods. That's okay. Just for starters. Been catching some. I've been covering a lot of water fish, just throwing a chatterbait around. 1/2 ounce, just a shad pattern. The fish are really, really, really oriented on shad right now. They're almost acting like it's August or September right now. It's pretty common to see the fish get on shad. the later in the fall it gets, but the fish are almost acting like it now. I've noticed in the grass that I've been fishing, I've really been using my Panoptix and kind of looking around and just seeing where the bait's at. And it seems like if you're fishing around the bait, you're going to definitely be where the bass are as well. But yeah, so the chatterbait's been a great bait to cover water with, and just throwing it out there, just kind of popping it through the grass. I've caught a few good ones on it. Also been throwing a jig a little bit through the grass, swimming it and kind of hopping it. Just a green pumpkin jig, 1/2 ounce. And throwing that on a Witch Doctor Tackle 7.2 heavy Shaman series rod. 20-pound line on that one. 20-pound as well on the chatterbait. I like big line on the chatterbait and the jig just because you're getting them in that heavy cover in that grass. And you really need to get them out of it. As far as the top waters go, I've been catching some really good fish, some big ones. Some 5, 5.5, even 6-pounders on that bait right there. And that's that hardcore popper. You heard me talk about it last week, but man, that's the best popper ever made. Caught a 5.5-pounder on it last night, and several other good fish. Been throwing it on 2 different setups. Same rod on both, which has been critical. For the popper, I go with the 610 medium heavy Sermon series rod. This is the one that's got the glass. It's a half graphite, half glass, so you get the best of both worlds. You get a good tip, but that graphite, you got the strength to get the fish out of the grass. But I think a big reason they've been eating the popper right now, one, the shad are really small, about the size of that popper. And then 2, those little mayflies have been hatching like crazy. I got to go clean my truck because they're covered in them. I think they all decided to hatch last night as I was driving home from the lake. But the ghost pearl shad, I almost kind of feel bad telling y'all this because it catches so many fish on Chickamauga, but that color right there has been a staple for me with this popper. And the key with it has been fishing it, over that grass that's, a foot or 2 beneath the surface. And it can be great in the middle of the day too. We think topwater's a morning and an evening deal, but if you get in the middle of the day with a little breeze, I love to put my Waterland sunglasses on and find those clumps of grass that are a foot or 2 beneath the surface that you can visually see from a long ways, and making a long cast with that popper or even the pencil popper, and working it over that grass, and they'll come up and get it. It's a really cool bite. But with that popper, I've been twitch, let it sit 3 or 4 seconds, twitch, let it sit for 2 or 3 seconds, twitch. So the pauses have been pretty long, and that's kind of been key to getting some of those bites, and especially some of the bigger bites. It seems like the longer you let it sit, the better off you are. So that's been a great bait over the grass. And then one of my all-time favorites is the pencil popper. This is the new size from Yo-Zuri. This is the 110, which is a size down from I think it was the 135 was the old size. Yeah, 135. That color is Prism Chartreuse Silver, which is one of my go-tos. I really like it that you have the chrome on the sunny days, but you got that chartreuse back. You can really see it really good. Plus, I think the fish get a good look at it. And this is a color that's actually good on both sunny and cloudy days. With that chartreuse, it seems like they like it on cloudy days, and I think with that chrome kind of deal it's got on it, that they like it a lot on the sunny days. Bone's been good. Been throwing a couple different colors, but for the top water, it's really been the pencil popper and just the hardcore popper. Besides that, another bait I really like around the grass this time of year is the little 4-inch True Bass swim baits. I don't even know the name of this color, but that color right there has been good lately. Putting that on a little 1/4 ounce head, just winding it around the grass edges. And that's a versatile bait. A swim bait's one of the baits you can fish high in the water column or low in the water column. Just, vary your line size, vary your retrieve. I got that on a little bit lighter line right now, 12 pound, just to kind of get a more natural look. But I usually throw probably 16. And for all my fluorocarbon, Yo-Zuri T7, the stuff's unbeatable. And then other baits, you hear me talk about a drop shot every week. I've been throwing a drop shot on some hard spots around the grass, also throwing it out deep on some places. As far as the colors that have been working lately, been pretty much throwing the 4-inch Fishco worm. And really the colors that have been working good. The peanut butter and jelly, it seems to be getting a lot of bites and some big bites. I had one almost 8 pounds last week on it on a drop shot. But green pumpkin's always a good one when they get in the grass. And then green pumpkin Texas red, you know, that's that red color with the green pumpkin top. Not getting as many bites on this one, but the quality of fish that I catch seem to be a little bit better. So it's kind of a good bait if you need or a good color if you need a big bite. So that drop shot's been good. Been throwing it on 10-pound braid to a 10-pound T7 fluorocarbon leader. And then another bait that's been good is the Nico rig. And I've been throwing a big worm on it. I've been throwing that 8-inch Fishco worm. I think that's green pumpkin blue swirl. I got a weight shoved in there. I'm taking like a 3/32 weight and I'm cutting a little bit off when I'm throwing it around the grass. If I'm fishing it out deep, I'm leaving the weight, the whole 3/32 weight up in there. But around the grass, I've been throwing it just kind of on the grass edges. That's a number 1 VMC Nico rig hook, 10-pound Yo-Zuri T7 fluorocarbon, 10-pound braid. And I know it's kind of lightweight to be thrown around grass, but you know, I like that real natural look, and this line is so strong. I mean, I think we might have broke off one fish in the past 2 weeks in the grass with 10-pound line, and that's because we didn't retie. We caught, you know, 20 fish not retied, and it buried us up in there and broke off. So definitely y'all need to throw this line if you're fishing around grass, because it'll hold up a lot better than most other companies' 10-pound line will. But as far as the rod, 7.2 medium, Witch Doctor Tackle Shaman Series spinning rod. What's really cool about this rod is the handle. You can tell right there, there's a place to put your pointer finger, which I love. You get such a good sensitive feel with your rod. But 7.2, you get a good long cast with it. And that's pretty much it for the week. But, you know, going forward, there's going to be really I think there's going to still be a little bit of a ledge bite going on. Those who like to fish the bank, those who like to fish bluffs or docks this time of year, that mayfly deal is going to be a good deal. And if you want to really target that mayfly deal, I usually flip a jig or throw a popper. Just throw it around whatever cover you're seeing a lot of mayflies. You can flip a Texas rig or a Senko or anything like that as well. So that's the bite going on, but probably what I'll be doing the next couple of weeks mostly, a little bit deep fishing, but grass fishing I'm really going to focus in on. And then the brush pile deal is going to really start to pick up as it gets hotter and hotter going into August. That's really my favorite time of year, I'd say, to fish brush is August. So going to mix in some brush piles, going to keep the grass honest. And the biggest key lately, though, I talked about last week, fish slow. You get in these areas that look really good, you're seeing bait. There's a lot of places right now I realize you can just fish over the fish and never know they're there. So you get in an area, just really break it down, fish slow, take your time. You get that one bite, take a mental note of where you got that bite at, and make multiple casts at that same spot. But that's pretty much it for the week. Y'all leave some questions below in the comment section. I'll try to get to those maybe next week. And good luck in the water, guys. Thank y'all.